Back with page 5 of the flip book. This page is going to be a waterfall with pockets where there's going to be some spacing to put small photographs. Pockets I'm using for the waterfall are these small envelopes from Amazon. They come in packs of 100. They're pretty cheap, under £5 or $7 US, probably less. To give you measurements, 2 3/4 inches across or 7 centimetres by 10 centimetres 4 inches. If you can't find them, you could quite easily make them. I just thought this would save a bit of time, plus this flap can be turned backwards and be the hinge for the waterfall. For those who don't know what a waterfall is, it is a series of papers or pockets that sit slightly apart and create a tiered effect. I'm not going to do anything too fancy with the waterfall. It will be a manual flip, not a mechanical one. What I've done in advance, I've only prepared 4. We may end up with more. We'll see how the spacing goes. Is cut some black card and done my messy stitching. To start with, we need to put a ribbon down, because once these are on here and have tags inside them, they become quite bulky and they flap about, and it's nice to tie them down. I have some cheap gold satin ribbon that I will be placing on the back of here using my silicone glue, my Uhu. You probably use Fabri-Tac. That will be held firmly in place by putting paper backing. To stick the paper down, I'm using the silicone glue on the ribbon, Pritt stick around the rest. Set it to one side for now. Everything's going to go this way. Take our camera stamp, the white ink pad, which is really, really nice because it's not too dry. And we'll do that on all 4. I have just realised, I'm assuming my 2 brain cells are now firing together, that we could actually have double the photograph space by doing that. I know, we're doing a flip book. You'd think it would have occurred to me. I've done some more black cards. I just tried this out on one of the envelopes. I cut a piece of pattern paper slightly smaller than the envelope, rounded the corners, stained it with vintage photo, sealed it on the front. I have basically done the same on the reverse, remembering that that is the right way up. Next stage on that would be to see how that sits. You're only getting tiny little layers of border, but they are there. Here's what I've decided to do, so you see some of that background, because if we go straight you see nothing, but if we do little quirky angles you see a bit more of the background. It hangs over the edge, but that's okay. I am going to do 4 envelopes. My 4 envelopes are now together. And what I've done is on the hinge, I've marked 1 centimetre from the score down. 1 centimetre is about ½ an inch. The idea is decide where on here the first one's going to go. Put the glue onto the whole of this, and then we have our mark line for lining up the next one. With the next one, want to make sure that line doesn't show. We will be gluing over that line and continue down doing that. That is our small cascade. It's not perfectly aligned, but then you've got cards going at different angles anyway. Not to forget that these are pockets. We have 4 pockets. Choices being tags, or could make smaller versions of the black card, and then you could put more photographs on front and back, which means instead of having 8 photograph spots, you would have 16 just on that one page. Choice obviously is up to you what you would rather do. I will go for tags, because then you could put a photograph here, and then write a little something about the photograph and put it in the pocket. We will be doing the tags on here as a masterboard. I have a feeling if I glue these 2 old book pages together, this will be big enough to cut 4 tags from when it's done. Last video we did mini masterboard tags. Now we're doing the slightly bigger version, but it's the same principle. Take scraps and cover. These ones are straight edged because these are cutaways from those backing papers, and covering this piece of paper. That now has a base cover on it. What we're going to do next is what I consider blind masterboards. Take bits and pieces of ephemera and put them down wherever there's a big area that doesn't seem to have much going on. And we don't think about it. We don't think about colours. We don't think about placement as such. We're just putting stuff down. A bit like the first layer, but now we're filling in. I'm going over the top just to make sure that everything's being smushed down properly. Overlapping bits, just going to give it even more strength. So we just continue over this. If you don't mind getting things like smoothers full of glue, it is worth doing this and then cleaning them afterwards, just to make sure all your edges are down. Here's how we do the blind bit. We turn this over, and the measurement we're looking for lengthways is 10 centimeters. I'll probably cut at around 11 because there's some straightening up to do. 11 centimeters is 4¼ inches. I've got a feeling we're going to get 2 sets out of this. Now we're going to cut these ones 6 centimeters, which is 2½ inches. Should we turn them over and see what's happened? Here are the tags. You don't really have to add to these. Can do if you want to. Shaping into tags, and then on the back plain paper so you can use them as journaling cards. I'm back with the ones that I've chosen to go into this and the ones that are now spare for future projects. Everything has been shaped into the tag shape and inked in vintage photo, and I back them with scrap paper because I have so much scrap paper. And I think using scrap paper makes them more interesting backing for the tags. As you can hopefully tell, they are solid. These are the ones that I chose for this because I liked the variety in them. The advantage of doing that blind cutting is it takes away the pressure for you to decide where to cut, how to lay things out. It's just a random cut, which I like and can give some very nice results, and probably cuts where you wouldn't put them. Like that one, you've only got a tiny strip of that pattern showing. All we have to do is put them into our envelopes. I will do that off camera. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're on YouTube, please do all the YouTubey things, like, share, subscribe, comment, join the Facebook group, the link's in the description. I will be back with the next one in this series very, very soon. Bye.